first time I heard about the idea for us to design a car for GT6, I actually didn't quite believe it at the same time. I thought it was a pretty amazing opportunity for us.
BMW stands for sheer driving pleasure, and this fits very much to our cooperation.
Gran Turismo はすごいわけじゃないんですよ。グランツーリスモに収録されている車を作っている人たちがすごいんですね。そのエネルギーがグランツーリスモを通じてプレイヤーに伝わっている、そういうことだと思いますね。
As you know, we do concept cars, but we rarely do concept cars that can drive, full on like they do in the virtual world of a GT6. That's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Our engineers on the one side and on the other side, our designers worked very hard through several months.
The design process behind this car is similar to what we usually do, but maybe in a much more compact version, if you will. Everything we did, aerodynamic functions as well as all the other technical functions, are not just a design issue. It has to work really well. I mean, it's designed and conceived, engineered actually to race. Engineered in the virtual world, but engineered to race and win.
このね、ビジョン GT カー、どこが BMW らしいかというと、まずコンパクトなサイズ、それと、前後の、張り出した、オーバーフェンダー、ボクシーなところはボクシーで残していて、でもきちんと、モダンでエレガントなラインも、入っていて。
I think when you look at the car, you'll see typical BMW proportions with the short front overhang, the long hood, the rearward cabin, but all of that in an extreme package, basically. Super low, super wide. So the first impact from this car is going to be just like pure BMW racing feeling. You will see as well some typical BMW icons, the kidneys, the double around headlamps, the L-shaped tail lamps, the Hofmeister kink. All of that are things that you find on our production cars, and you will find on that car as well. It's this red thread that goes through every BMW that is essential to what we do. This car is pure BMW sportiness, pure BMW dynamics. It's a precise driving machine that just looks the part and actually drives exactly the way you expect the BMW to drive.
"私たち三菱自動車は50年にわたりモータースポーツに参加してきました。今回 XR というコンセプトカーをベースにレーシングカーを作りました。皆様もぜひお楽しみください。
4輪それぞれの駆動力を最大限に引き出せる PHEV システム、それに加えましてアクティブ用コントロールシステムは電動式で左右輪のトルクをに分ける、ドライバーの意のままにコントロールできるシステムになっております。
三菱自動車の車開発では空力は常に重要な役割を果たしてきました。いかにダウンフォースを、空気抵抗を増やさずに獲得するかというところをこの車の開発では注意して行いました。
この車、コンセプト XR-PHEV エボリューションのデザインコンセプトはアスリートフォルムです。アスリートがまさにクラウチングスタートを切る瞬間の緊張感であったり、瞬発力、 を表現しています。すべてその速く走るため、その目的のために、角度や細かい高さの調整など、設計者とともにデータを見ながら決めていきます。
The design brief was more or less try to design a car that looks fast, that looks super interesting, that just make people go wow.
Vision GT is a very exciting global project, and it's fabulous for us to get the chance to express our design for a future concept in the game.
The concept 2020 is basically what every designer always dreams about. It was super exciting to work on a project with no boundaries at all.
Designer had a kind of initial line drawings, and we actually skipped all the clay model stages and interpreted directly to digital.
We could really understand the form using our Powerwall screens and using technology to bring this future concept into reality. We can use pure aerodynamic performance for the first time, and that is going to add a huge advantage in the game itself.
タイヤとキャビンの間に風を通すようにして必要最低限の空気の切り裂き量にして空気抵抗低減を図っています。
You have this strong front fender connected to it, very round, very sculptural. And then in contrast, the rear fender, which is more constructed and more wing-light, very lightweight.
When you need to have a high downforce, the actual rear wing is adjustable. So it's automatically elevate the height of the wing.
When you're driving this car, you're really going to feel fantastic acceleration. You get this feeling of energy that just surrounds you.
It's super extreme, super low, super wide, but also very aerodynamically refined.
It's like a jet fighter grounded on the road.
With all this energy and excitement, this innovation, this is still very obviously a Nissan.
It's the shape, the form, the proportion. It's our iconic grille shape.
It's the balance and integrity of materials.
It's beautiful, crafted, sculpted.
It's something groundbreaking that no one's seen before.
Yeah, we were allowed to break the rules somewhat with this one.
It really showcases what Aston Martin is all about. Power, beauty, and soul. DP100 is something very, very special for Gran Turismo. For me, the initial idea always starts with a sketch, producing something which is touched by human hand, but it's seen in a virtual world.
What's unique about the car compared to everything else we do today is its mid-engine layout.
As true mid-engine, DP100 allows us a completely different form language that still maintains the Aston Martin feel and character. We've effectively used the same processes, the same principles to design this car for the game that we would in putting a car on the road. So all the shape and the form had to be real. We look at three elements: the sketch, the engineering and the CAD. And we also have the delivery through sculpture.
Beauty is probably number one. We spend an obsessive amount of time looking at the car in different lights to make sure this car looked great from every single angle.
With the design of a car like DP100, the colours and materials are hugely important. We're able to link some of the exterior finishes and interior finishes and be totally free with where we can apply them.
With the virtual world, we can push the boundaries.
For a designer, it's the ultimate in freedom.
We give the car a lot of power. We've been very inventive with the aerodynamics.
It's going to have the great feel, perfect balance, and that sound. That rush of sound each time you change a gear. That's something which is so special in Aston Martin. You'll feel all of that in the DP100. All of our racing technologies, all of the passion that we put into our road cars are here in DP100. It is a true winner.
The design brief for this car was very simple. Take the FT1 concept car and turn it into the most super race car you could imagine.
When we started the project, some of the key words that came to mind were sexy, authentic, outrageous, track built. The design process on the Toyota FT1 Vision started with sketching. From sketching, we moved to a scale clay model to prove it out in physical form. From there, we digitally scanned it and then put it into the CAD and did all the final refinements in CAD.
Well, the original FT1 was more of a sculptural concept car. That was a serious sports car, but this one is more an extreme race car where it had to look functional, it had to look extremely serious and aggressive, and this had more, and it still had to be believable.
Yeah, working on this car, we really got to take that form and pull it and stretch it in different directions to try to emphasize these large fenders in this car's really low down, really high grip, really high downforce.
Usually after CAD process, they still develop design clay model, sometimes hard model, but especially this project, CAD data was the final. So we have to make sure the CAD data looks beautiful and perfect, and we did it.
The biggest challenge in designing the Vision GT car was keeping the spirit of FT1 intact. We changed a lot, and I think all the enthusiasts out there and the people that loved FT1 and now they see the Vision GT car, they'll recognize all the areas we changed, and it's a lot. So we had to keep the identity of FT1 while doing that. And we put a lot of effort, a lot of energy into really making something authentic that when all the race fans out there and all the Toyota driving fans out there experience this car in GT6, they're going to be wowed.
ジョングランツーリスモへの参加が決まった。カーデザイナーを目指した学生時代、徹夜で走り込んだグランツーリスモ。そんな慣れ親しんだゲームの企画にスバルが参加表明した時は驚いたが、その担当にという打診にはもっと驚き、二つ返事で飛びついた。ダイナミック&ソリッド。スバルのデザインフィロソフィーを踏まえ、イメージを膨らませる。塊感。硬質な素材から削り出されるフォルム。でもそれだけではダメだ。力強さ、ダイナミズムを表現するには核となる中身が欠かせない。モータースポーツを通して培われた技術、精神、それをいかに凝縮して表現するか。世界中の車メーカーが参加するビジョングランツーリスモ。スバルらしさ、日本の車メーカーらしさもアピールしたい。こうした要素を内包し、強烈にアピールできるモチーフとは何か。やっとその鍵を見つけた。超合金鰹節。
ラリー、ニュルブルクリンク24時間レースで培ってきた技術、そしてデザインフィロソフィー、ダイナミックソリッド、これを融合させてグランツーリスモのために我々新しいレースカーを作ります。ぜひご堪能ください。
レース車両はスバルビジブ2コンセプト。機動性を重視したワゴンフォルムとしながらもレースに必要な空力精度、そしてスバルの特徴であるシンメトリカル AWD をいかに表現するか、そこをデザインのキーポイントにしました。
硬質なボリュームを削り落とした面がフロントからリアに向けて一発でズバッと通してやれて、空力を考慮した伸びやかなルーフライン、さらにそこからつながるルーフスポイラーを一体化することで特徴を出しています。またこの車ではビジブ2コンセプトで採用しましたトルクベクタリングシステム、それをフェンダーに配置したランプを光らせることで可視化する、そういったことによってスバルの目指す操り楽しみというのをゲーム内で表現しています。
In the 1960s, Chevrolet did not have official sponsorship or involvement in racing, so there's all of this mystery and intrigue with the relationship that Chevrolet had with Jim Hall and the Chaparral.
It was kind of a research association and development, and certainly they helped us a good deal, and I think we helped them. It was a good interchange, and I always felt really good about it. It was a fun time in my life to work with a bunch of guys that wanted to find out, and that's what I was interested in, learning about how to make them go better.
That spirit of innovation, the spirit of exploring the unknown, is really what defined that relationship between Chevrolet and Chaparral. And that really was kind of the storyline that we wanted this project to really revisit, is what could be.
The flying suit was a very strong inspiration for me. Head first, belly on the ground, and pretty much have a sense of flying just inches from the racetrack was, to me, the best and the most exciting position I could find for a race car.
I said the amount of thrust, the amount of downforce, let's make sure that this car's got the performance that it needs to be a winner.
僕らは、新しい車を作るときに必ずその車に合わせたフィジックスを用意するわけですけれども、今回の 2X の場合は、レーザー推進っていう、これまでの自動車では全くなかったような新しい推進システムで動くわけですよね。それは全くゼロから開発する必要がありました。
Through the whole process, it was very unique because the game's digital. And our design process is extremely digital on this vehicle. So we kind of knew it would look pretty good in the game. And I think what we were looking for is something that was as innovative and pay, homage to Chaparral.
The Chaparral 2X is very advanced as it is exploring new concepts in aerodynamics and in propulsion. And isn't that what finding new roads is all about? It's exactly what it's about. Chaparrals were always exploring new roads, and this new concept does the same.
thinking about this Gran Turismo, we thought, how can we leverage this learning that we had from F1 and bring it into a GT car? How do we make a GT car that is born from the track, but also lives with the romance of racing? And so it was a great collaboration with all the studios, but the final design was selected from our Beijing studio. Can you bring it up on the monitor?
Sure.
This is an incredible, exciting project. All designers want to create a car without limitation, can spread out their imagination and bring it to reality as well. We want to create a car that looks sensual, attractive, futuristic, and also looks very wild, powerful, that can impress you with just a glance.
无论是车头犀利的眼神、外扩的格栅造型，还是锐利利索的细节，包围感极强的 Fender， 都是为了要让车身看上去所有的力量都在互相牵制的同时又相互融合，从而带给人们一种野兽般的视觉冲击。
インフィニティコンセプトビジョングランツーリスモは最初のキースケッチからファイナルモデルの制作まで全てがこの北京にオープンしたばかりのインフィニティデザインベイジンで行われました。生まれたばかりのこのデザインスタジオで中国の若いデザイナーたちはインフィニティのヘリテージを学び、インフィニティのフォームランゲージを理解し、その上で彼らが渇望する思いをビーストとしてこの車に封じ込めました。センシュアリティ&ビースト、それがインフィニティコンセプトビジョングランツーリスモのコンセプトです。
V8 自然吸気をフロントに搭載し、リアにトランスアクセルを搭載する FR レイアウトをベースに気持ちよく楽しめる走り、リプレイを見たくなるような走りを狙いとしたパッケージングを行いました。
挑戦って我々マツダがずっと大事にしてきたもので、いわば伝統のようなものです。過去13回の挑戦を得て、1991年に日本メイクとして初めて、しかもマツダしか持たないパワートレインロータリーエンジンでルマンで総合優勝しました。その時の感動は本当に今でも忘れられません。これが挑戦だと思いました。
design from a heritage standpoint, obviously we looked at cars like the 787. That car has this amazing long front overhang, really short, low rear end, and it creates this very unique balance that's just not commonplace in contemporary sports cars. So we wanted to take that influence and bring it into this new concept and create this dramatic proportion where you had really low front end, very dynamic, sculpted fender treatments, and then really low rear end.
This Gran Turismo project, all the designers got involved in it. It was a global competition, and we all pitched our ideas. But ever since the beginning, I wanted to pitch this Le Mans race car because Mazda has such a strong Le Mans history. My project was to recreate that Le Mans car for the future 2020.
デザインもずっとチャレンジし続けています。今我々が取り組んでいるのは鼓動というデザインテーマ。これは生命感あふれる美しいフォルムを作ること。車に命を吹き込む。これが我々デザインの挑戦です。
Testing one of the most exciting cars in the world demands everything from you. Challenging man and machine. Nothing is left to chance. Pushing yourself to the limits. Sometimes crossing them. All for this one great moment.
L'Alpine Vision Gran Turismo porte l'ADN des Alpines de toutes les époques.
C'est basé sur la légèreté et l'agilité.
C'est une expérience de conduite que nous espérons passionnante et inédite. Nous proposons avec Alpine Vision une pure machine de plaisir. Cette Alpine est virtuelle, mais elle pourrait être réelle.
Alpine est une marque mythique française de véhicules de sport. Elle a été créée par un jeune concessionnaire Renault en 1955, Jean Lédélé, qui était aussi rallyman. Ce point est très important parce que cette marque est née de la course, le rallye, pour la course, au départ.
La face avant rend hommage à la berlinette à 110, avec son avant en forme de V et puis les phares additionnels. L'arrière, lui, est beaucoup plus inspiré des véhicules des 24 heures du Mans des années 60, avec une longue queue, un arrière très aérodynamique. Et enfin, on est venu injecter, et ça c'est la surprise, on est venu injecter dans cette voiture quelques ingrédients de la future Alpine, celle qui sortira en 2016, mais je ne peux pas vous en dire plus sur ce sujet.
僕が小学校の頃ですかね、アルピーヌ A110 のイメージというのは多分僕の心の中に入ってきた最初の最もかっこいい車の形として、ずっと記憶の中にあって。
Nous avons décidé de relancer cette marque tout en étant fidèles à ces gènes qui sont très spécifiques à cette marque.
3種類カラーバリエーションをいただいていて、
La légèreté a été privilégiée à la puissance, le plaisir de conduite préféré à la performance pure.
Alors le point d'orgue de ce véhicule, c'est la vue arrière, puisque c'est la vue que le joueur va utiliser. On a voulu vraiment une vue arrière spectaculaire avec des aérofreins. On a aussi une vue du cockpit qui est très spéciale, qui est très identitaire.
Gran Turismo est un outil fantastique pour communiquer autour des véhicules.
Alpine Vision Gran Turismo est une fantastique opportunité dans ce contexte de la relance de la marque.
As a racer, I've been racing nearly 20 years now, and the physics engine in the game responds to the same skill set as a racer does.
Physics in Gran Turismo are extremely realistic.
I grew up playing a lot of Gran Turismo, and that definitely had an impact on how I designed this vehicle.
We opened it up to every designer, Chrysler designer, Dodge, RT, Jeep, Ram. We had 30 different concepts.
It came back to our own heritage. The Viper was a big part of the inspiration, and our muscle cars, of course.
It had that emotional quality to it, just the way it was illustrated even.
It can be stationary and it still looks like it's going fast. Active aero panels, deployable wing, an aluminum spine, functional vent, hood scoop, exhaust port, integrated with a rear diffuser. The underbody aerodynamics and airflow are very much performance driven.
If you saw it on a racetrack and you're 50 feet away, what stands up? Silhouette. It has almost a humanistic or an animalistic feeling about it.
The rear three-quarter was one of the coolest workouts.
This needed to be a really impactful piece of the design. This is what the gamer sees.
We're all about the team and collaboration, and we really approached it like we would any other performance vehicle.
We worked with engineering very closely, probably more than a lot of designers would like.
We still had that creative tension that we have between engineering and design.
We wanted the performance to be at a level that would be at the limit of a gamer's reflex. The virtual driver requires this G-suit. The high-speed load tests the limits of human physiology. You kind of work your way through 3 different levels. The Tomahawk S is the entry level. Tomahawk S stands for street. The Tomahawk GTSR gets the weight down, increases the horsepower, turn a sports car into a race car. Tomahawk X. X stands for experimental. Every potential emerging technology, some technologies that aren't even invented yet, making a car go as fast as possible.
When the user's driving the car, there's all these panels that are constantly moving, the sounds that you get because of the systems creating downforce.
Yaw force, you only see that in airplanes. 9 panels steer the car through the air. You can pull all those panels back where the car can achieve incredible top speeds.
You recognize the aerodynamic details. They're integrated in a way that doesn't disturb the natural beauty of the car.
It has guts to it. You know, we work close with our engineering guys to make sure that it pushed the envelope.
A really cohesive blend of function and aesthetics.
It's an ultimate expression of what we do.
They brought the best of our engineering imagination and design prowess into one machine.